showtime. Hey everybody, it's the D-Rock100 and welcome back to more of Pokemon Moon. Last time, we went through Elima's trial here on Metal Island and we have gotten ourselves to Normalium Z. And this time, we are heading north into Route 3. And right off the bat, we got a hiker. I happened to pass under a moving shadow and got attacked by a wild bird Pokemon. What the little pests they are. Oh, you mean those? Okay, I guess right off the bat, this is gonna be things that are gonna be a little bit straightforward here from here on in. So, out here on Route 3, we have 4 new Pokemon that we can find. 2 of them are in a separate game, depending if you're playing Sun or Moon. But I guess we'll go and take on this youngster here, and let's talk about those 4 Pokemon, shall we? First up, Mankey. This is a pure fighting type Pokemon that was the fastest fighting type in the game, but I think Infinite had kind of outclassed it at this point. Honestly, this is not a bad Pokemon. I used to one myself in a previous playthrough, and it served me well. If you are looking for any good fighting type, this is a good one, especially since it has Vital Spirit for the ability, which means it'll prevent it from being falling asleep. Anger Point is okay, I guess, but I kind of find that to be a little bit more situational. But if you want my personal recommendation, Vital Spirit is probably going to be your better bet. Plus, while it has a great speed and great physical offensive stats, it definitely made this up with the fact that it's kind of a glass cannon. So if you want to go through anything of the such, then perhaps maybe this could be a good choice for you. Well, your mileage may vary how it works. Next up, Delibird. Can I just ask, why? Okay. Delibird is an ice flying type that many people like me kind of consider this to be an empty Pokeball. If you want one, I guess you can make some good use out of it, but with that signature move of Present, which you'll learn right off the bat, you're far better off with a better ice type or even a different flying type. But crazy enough, Delibird is probably the very first ice type Pokemon that you can encounter in the game. The reason why I don't recommend it, aside from having that Present, which has a better chance of healing a quarter of your opponent's HP, is the fact that its stats don't complement any of the moves that it learns. In fact, some of its better moves aren't until late in the level. In fact, I should probably take this time to mention the move tutor. I think I've mentioned this from before, but I'll say it again. It's at the end of the main game. So just don't use this Pokemon. There's a ton better flying types and ice types out there. In fact, this is practically scraping the bottom of the barrel a little bit. Go back to the North Pole where you belong with Santa Claus. Next up, only in his son, we have Rufflet. Can I just ask, what is it with some of these Gen 5 Pokemon evolving at level 52? Come on! Okay. But maybe I'm being a little bit too harsh on the guy, but someone like me who used one myself in a past Let's Play, or I guess technically it's evolution, but it's still not a bad Pokemon to say the least. It has some pretty below average stats for a Pokemon that evolves so late, but it definitely makes it up for the fact that it learned some very good moves over the course of its time as a Rufflet. If you want one, by all means, it's right here. Just be mindful that it's going to be on the weak side of while you're holding on to this thing and throughout later on in the game, because like I said, it won't evolve until its early 50s. In Moon, on the other hand, you will find Lullaby. This is a dark flying type, and that's, oddly, kind of like a flying version of Umbreon. It's a very good wall, and it can take physical hits and special hits like a champ. Honestly, you could probably do worse with this. The only real gripe that I have with it is that being a wall is for what it's mostly known for. I can't really say here that I would recommend this if you're more on the offensive side, but it may not be a bad idea to have a defensive Pokemon if you are so inclined. I guess while it learns some pretty good moves, so leveling up that complement its two stats, give it a chance. You might be surprised at what this thing could be used for. Okay. I'm a little bit of an issue with this Petalil here. We are about to actually be on the verge of imagine running into one of these. So, if you're looking for a really good grass type, this will probably be one that I would recommend, but I'm gonna leave it at that, though. Because trust me, it gets good later on. Yeah. Use your Mega Drain on me, Petalil. But hey, joke's on you. You are up against two Pokemon that can resist it. In fact, one of them I think is quad resistant. Okay. Here we go. More preferences, please. You'll be fine. Oh! Hello! Trumbeak! I guess when we can really get into this one real quickly is, of course, the evolution of Pikipek. You'll actually be able to find this thing out in the wild a little bit later on. But, honestly, if you can evolve it from right here, this could actually be a very good flying type right off the bat. This is kind of more like it's a standard Pidgeotto clone. And, honestly, this could be a very good Pokemon for you to hold on to. But, like I said from before, there are a couple of better flying types out there. But this is not a bad Pokemon for you to hold on to. It can be very beneficial if the correct standards are made. In fact, once it evolves into its next evolution, it becomes a force to be reckoned with. So if you're inclined to keeping this thing as it is, then by all means. Got a Stardust right here. So the Pokemon that are in my current party that do evolve, I will indeed kind of give them a brief bio, so they don't feel completely left out. But maybe I should probably have returned you back into the PC, Macho. Let's do here. Melly Meadow appeared us with an Oricorio dance. Nebby, come back! Ah, Derek, let me run off into the meadow here. Right there, it got into so much trouble on the bridge too. What if one Pokemon attacks it? It doesn't have any moves it can use to battle. Hurry up and save Nebby already. You little Pokemon need all the help we can get. Found a great ball right here. I guess while we're saving Nebby, we have 4 new Pokemon that we can find out here. We're getting into BIOS back, left, and right from here. Kind of crazy. Okay. But who should lead? I guess we can have Trumbeacon have a little bit of some time to shine. Maybe I probably should have stocked up on Repels before I came here because we're going to be counting Pokemon left and right. In fact, there's one of them right now. Oricorio! This could actually be a variety of the different Pokemon hand types in it that you'll be seeing. We know that it's going to be remaining as a part flying type, but it could potentially become 4 different types of flying types, depending on the nectar that you give it. If it is a red nectar that's used on it, it will become a fire flying type. Yellow nectar will become an electric flying type, like you saw from right there. Pink nectar will change it into a psychic flying type. And purple nectar will transform it into a ghost flying type. Honestly, this is actually a very interesting Pokemon for when the correct standards are made. Do I recommend it for single player? Well, yes and no. The reason for why I say that is because its signature ability, Dancer, is very odd. This one works well after your opponent uses a dance move and it learns to dance afterwards, regardless of speed. So for moves like Dragon Dance or Swords Dance or even Fiery Dance, it'll use a dance move immediately afterwards. I kind of consider this to be really good in multiplayer rather than single player, because it's actually a whole lot more beneficial when we're facing off against someone who's really good in duel battles such as that. So if you're looking for a Pokemon that's really good in multiplayer, this could be a good one, but be mindful that it can be a little bit challenging for how you use it. So with that, it can be a little bit hard to recommend. Let's get into something that's a little bit more fun. In Sun, we can find Cottony. This is a grass fairy type, I believe it is. And quite frankly, I can't say a lot of bad things about this guy. If you're looking for any good Pokemon that fits the bill perfectly for how you want to use it, this thing is a phenomenal Pokemon for how to use it. There is unfortunately one major catch though. Its speed. It does come with a really nice ability that'll help it become a pretty decent Sun Sweeper, since it has Chlorophyll for the ability, I believe it is. But if you're looking for anything that's a good hit for being a Sun Summoner, this one is okay. But I think you're kind of better off with another Pokemon. But hey, don't take this the wrong way. I think this is a phenomenal Pokemon that definitely got a very sizable buff. In fact, I actually almost consider using this on my team, just to show how good potentially of a powerful Pokemon that it could become. But I ultimately decided against it because I kind of feel like it was a little bit overused, even to this day. But this is just coming from my perspective. Great grass fairy type, but it's a bit overused. In Moon, we will find Petalil. Petalil! This is a pure grass type Pokemon that's going to remain a pure grass type Pokemon all the way. I kind of consider this one to be rather the superior one of the group. It knows some very good moves right off the bat, like Mega Drain, and eventually even learn moves like Giga Drain, Petal Dance, and even Solar Beam on that matter. Unfortunately, kind of the same thing with that with Cottony. I didn't kind of want to use something like this on my team, but I kind of decided against it because it was, like I said, a little bit overused. But don't get me wrong, this is a very good Pokemon that I would recommend if you're looking for a really good grass type you have not chose Rowlet. The only other real negative that I really have is moves. Some of his best moves are later on, and even when it's in his final evolution, more of its best moves are through tutoring. So if you're looking for a Pokemon that can learn some good tutor moves, stay away from this one. But otherwise, good Pokemon. Finally, in SOS battles only, or 1% of the time out here in the grass area, you will find a Butterfree! I've already had this Pokemon on my team, so you already know how really good it is. It knows Poison Power, Stun Power, Sleep Powder, or however you want to use it. Plus, with Gust right off the bat, it could be its own good choice to go with. It also made potentially no confusion at one point. In fact, later on, it might even potentially learn Psybeam and Psychic, which will be great Pokemon for when you're going up against something that may have some difficulties with. The only real negative that I really have is it has a sheer number of weaknesses, and while this is a really good Pokemon that can really work well with some really good Bug-type moves, some of its best moves and that it learns to leveling up, like say Quiver Dance, won't be until later on. In fact, Quiver Dance is what had made this thing such a really good Pokemon, even to this day. But otherwise, if you're looking for a really good bug type, you might want to consider holding on to this, but maybe ditching it for something a little bit better later on. But otherwise, stay away. Not a bad Pokemon, just a little bit outclassed. Okay. I'm saying a lot of mouthfuls lately. Alright, Nebby. Oh, you. Thank you, Derek. And I should have been thanking Trumpy, too. Here, let me at least do this. Instant heal! I'll take it. You know, I read something interesting in a book once. See, the Pokemon called Oricorio changes appearance by feeding on the nectar from different types of flowers. It's not actually evolving, but undergoing a so-called form change. Isn't that interesting? I thought it was anyway. Back into the bag, please, Nebby. I know there aren't many people around to see you here, but that's hardly an excuse. And I guess we should be going now. The professor will probably be worried after the way we just disappeared on him. Oh God, what do you want? Oh, and Lily's with you too. What are you up to, Hal? Just finished up my trial. Hey Derek, I want to see if I really learned anything from my trial. Let me battle you again. Fudge. And not even off on this island, we still have our third rival battle. Great. His first Pokemon. Pikachu, level 13, Electric type, static for the ability. Growl, Point Nice, Quick Attack, and Electro Ball. This is actually not a bad Pikachu. Especially this! Right. Well, at least it gets to make its debut. Oh boy. Trumbeak! Why? I'm surprised then that he didn't exactly finish me off right there because I was kind of, I don't know, vulnerable. What would I do? Okay. Enough of the singing. Unless you guys want me to sing more. No. Well, again, that's kind of hypocritical from me when I say this because I've actually been rather singing myself for a while. Ha! Joke's on you! Confusion is a special offensive move. So that move was wasted. You know, I'm actually kind of confused why you're not using Electro Ball because I'm kind of at a disadvantage towards that. How? Why? Yungus is a level 14, very nice. And now on into his final Pokemon, his starter Pokemon. It will be Litten, level 14, pure fire type, Blaze for the ability, with Ember, Growlithe, and Leer. If you have chosen a Rowlet, you would have a Popplio, level 14, water type, Torn for the ability, Baby Doll Eyes, Growl, Disarming Voice, and Water Gun. Or, if you have chosen Litten, it will be Rowlet, level 14, Grass type, Overgrowth for the ability, with Thievage, Growl, Peck, and Astonish. And now I'm going cross-eyed. Okay. I guess that's what happens when you talk too much and when you run out of air. You know, pal, you haven't really been making a lot of good choices of what the Pokemon that you chose as some of your starting Pokemon, because I know you're going to succeed down here, buddy. Aw, man, I want to show my Pokemon's best side more. What were you trying to show us? Their ego side? Oh, okay. So you may both beat that Totem Pokemon, huh, Derek? Looks like we're getting pretty strong. I wonder if I'll ever really be able to beat my Gramps at this rate. Hey there, Derek! Knew I could count on you, yeah! Thanks for tracking the lead down for me. What's this then? How? You finished your first trial too? I bet you used some styling moves, yeah? Yeah, right. Almost gonna be rubbing his hands together in glee right about now. Oh yeah! What do you mean? It's all a part of the trials, yeah? After you clear one island's trial, you gotta battle that island's Kahuna. Taking on the island Kahuna's battle is called the Grand Trial. For someone like me who's researched Pokemon moves, nothing could be better than the chance to see some more fierce Pokemon battles. Woo! I don't know about fierce. I'll be the judge of that. Come on, back to Yankee Town. Catch that tailwind and blast through Route 3. So now we get the chance to take on Ala. So, before we do that, though, there is actually something about this route that I actually want to kind of quickly talk about. Aside from that, Pokemon will be friendly towards you if you give it the super to hold. We also have this right here, but I don't think we can find it from here, but it'd be across the bridge of Route 3. Oh, hello. Who are you? I'm returning to using the red card item. I want to be shaken by your strength. I want to face you when you've shown that you can defeat every last trainer on Route 3. This guy, he's actually rather interesting. If we can defeat all the trainers that are in Route 3, this guy will challenge you. Now, as I was saying, across the bridge of Route 3, we have 2 new Pokemon that you can find, and this is something that I've been waiting to talk about for a long time. That Pokemon, bang on! Pure Dragon type, right off the bat. Before we even leave the first island, this is some of the earliest points where you can catch yourself a Dragon type. If you want one, by all means, it is a phenomenal Pokemon. Has great physical offensive stats, has a great ability of Rock Head, which prevents it from getting hit with recoil damage, so moves like Takedown and Double Edge are pretty much useless with this side effect. Plus, it can potentially learn Dragon Breath pretty soon, and soon enough Dragon Rage. But, big fat butt here. In SOS battles only, 1% of the time, you will find the almighty Salamence. I am not kidding. You could potentially find a Salamence out here in the wild, and this is practically unheard of. Apart flying type, and eventually he has the ability of Intimidate, is a very good thing to have. Do I recommend you catching as a Salamence? Hell no! There are a ton of better Pokemon to choose from that'll evolve into a better Pokemon later on. In fact, there's even some Pokemon that I would recommend you can even keep it at an evolution for the time being before you evolve into its final form. And Salamence is definitely one of those scenarios. I'm not saying that's a bad Pokemon, but this thing's tournament banned for a reason. But if you wanted to have a really good Pokemon that knows how to get the job done, Salamence is a great Pokemon, but I only recommend that you catch it as a bag-on first, rather than ripping your hairs out in frustration while trying to catch a thing who already has a very low catch rate as it is. Had to get that out of my system. But that was something that I've been wanting to talk about for a while. Just wow. I mean, when's the last time you ever saw a Salamence in the wild. I know the gallery region doesn't count. In fact, I don't think we can even find Salamence out in the wild in the gallery region. Anyway. I believe that should be it. So now that we got that out of the way, I'll heal you up really quick. And now I want him to go back and challenge that one trainer who will agree to challenge us if we defeat all the trainers on Route 3. These are basically what I had to call her Route Aces. I believe that something very interesting will be given to you once you beat them all. Let's have a soul-shaking battle. So this guy right here, he will have something rather interesting, and he'll usually be giving it to one of his Pokemon. And that would usually be the item, in this case, a red card. We haven't really gotten over this one, at least not yet. But there will be an instance for when this thing could potentially come to some use, but it's only good enough for multiplayers. So now that we got ourselves a Rockruff right here, you may have an idea for what to expect from the guy. I also have to say, its shiny form looks cute. You know what? I kind of take back what I said. This is actually good for all battles, the red card. Alright. But I kind of want to say it's once per use? Doesn't matter. Bowman's at level 17. Butterfree's at level 17. Now you're gonna go for a slow. Aha. Okay. I really want to get through this as quickly as I can because I'm kind of running a little bit low on time. And I want to try to make this as quickly as possible. Alright. Huh? Oh, come on. Whatever. You know, pal, you're not being very nice. Alright. Might as well just stick with saying type attack, wasn't it? Some people have actually been telling me that the move Yawn actually somehow affects them in the real world. How? I don't think I even really want to know. Is it because they're getting boring? Or is there something that they're not telling us? Alright, let's finish it! I said, let's finish it! Bonus, come on. Wait! Oh, now you're just insulting me, game. I knew it was kind of late in the makings, but come on! Cut me a little slack here, pal. Thank you. To think that you've wounded my pride, which is harder than diamonds. That sounds like a personal problem. Imagine going to save the evolution discussion for the next episode. Because shut up, Boom! Dang it! Now I lost my train of thought! Alright. Got a Pop Star Pokemon here. Alright. It was a fine battle. My heart feels as light as clear as the blue sky that appears after a storm passes through. This is proof of the battle between your team and my own. A red card. Take it, my strong friend. The effects of the red card are as illustrated to you in battle. If you would like to find another trainer like me on the routes of Alola, searching for strength, challenging them together with your Pokemon would not be a bad reason to take a journey. Whenever you say that, pal. Okay. And now, we're back here on Route 1. So, I guess now that we got that taken care of, and now officially out of the way, I think now is probably going to be a good time for us to end things off from here, because I'm a little bit overtimed, but you know what? Worth it. We got him to meet some new Pokemon, we had some evolutions, Bulbaman finally evolved into a Brion, which I'll be talking a little bit more in the next episode. So what do you say we head on to the Pokemon Center, and then we end things off from here. So, next time, we make some preparations, and we take on the fight with our first Kahuna! Allah! See you guys then.